What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I'm your host, AC the Engineer, and it is episode 44. Let's give it a round of applause. Yeah, we're at episode 44 now. And hope everybody had a good week. And hopefully their weekend is starting out good. But you know, we got to come back in here every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday to give out some information and just see what's popping up on my algorithm for YouTube and all the different crazy things that's been happening over the world. But without a doubt, we always got to review the world together. We always got to review the world together. Like always, let me know your thoughts if you disagree with anything I'm saying. Just leave me your comments. Let's have a good discussion on these different topics, and let's be reasonable. The main thing is let's be reasonable. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning. Thank you for always tuning in when you can. Thank you for anybody who watches now or later. Thank you. But you know how I like to do it. Let's get right into the show. The first thing that popped up that I wanted to talk about is out in Southern California. So we got to go out to Southern California, and it seems that it having mudslides. So mudslides out in Southern California. So I'm going to watch a few videos. Oh, get rid of that. Watch a few videos of that. And let's see what we got to say about it. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. So let's jump into this first video.
Well, this extreme weather leading to extreme flooding and mudslides in Southern California. Viewers have been sending in their videos all day, and one woman in Oak Glen captured the moment the area became engulfed in debris. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher is in studio now and has more from that viewer who was shocked when all of this went down. Michelle.
Yeah, it is shocking to see. Now, Dallas had given us a heads up in his forecast this week. The National Weather Service also issuing flash flood warnings due to the likelihood of mudslides in the San Bernardino Mountains. But even with those heads up, homeowners say they were shocked to see the massive tidal wave of mud and debris sweeping through their neighborhoods.
A late summer storm packing a muddy punch in the San Bernardino Mountains, where this massive mudslide in Oak Glen caught homeowners off guard.
I heard a loud rumbling. When I heard the rumbling, I was like, what is that? It kind of sounded like an earthquake was coming.
Denise Romo shocked at the torrent of mud she witnessed just feet away from her home on Potato Canyon Road.
When I opened my kitchen window, I just see the first wave of mud, and it already had trees and mailboxes, a bunch of debris.
Air 7 capturing these aerial images of the vast muddy mess hitting an Oak Glen restaurant and home hard. And in Forest Falls, the mud also inundating several homes, a portion of this property covered up to the second story. Portions of Highway 38 leading up to Big Bear closed tonight, impassable after today's mud and debris flows. San Bernardino County Fire reporting on X a group of approximately 10 people traveling in 6 to 7 vehicles are stranded in the area of Jenks Lake, cut off in both directions. Caltrans working to clear the roadway and restore access as cleanup efforts continue into the night.
We have several operations ongoing for assessment of damage. So we have dozers, we have hand crews that are out here that are going to pave a way for the search and rescue to come in and be able to look and see if there's anyone that needs to be further rescued.
And this isn't the first time the Oak Glen and Forest Falls areas have been impacted by this type of flooding. 3 years ago, heavy storms causing similar mudslides. CAL FIRE saying that incident and today's mudslides are the result of debris runoff from the 2020 El Dorado burn scar. David?
Incredible images. Michelle, thank you for that report.
Wow, that's absolutely crazy. Now, you said your mother, okay, at least she's far enough. That's good. That's good. I couldn't imagine seeing that scene of mud because it's totally different from water. You got to understand that. Totally different from water just because it's mud. So you got mixed in with soil, rock, heavier, stronger. Absolutely crazy. You can never underestimate Mother Nature. You truly can never underestimate Mother Nature. Let's get over into this next video and see what this is short. But let's get it. Wow. Absolutely wild. Now we got some new evacuation orders that were most recently, I think a day ago, that was issued out there. So let's get over into this video.
New evacuation warnings are in effect in several San Bernardino mountain communities already hit hard by mudslides and debris flows.
Many are still trying to dig out after yesterday's storm. Alina Abovian is in Oak Glen, where residents are bracing for more rough weather.
Hi there, guys. Good evening. That's right. Out of an abundance of caution, this evacuation warning was issued earlier this afternoon. Now, take a look behind me. You can see the foothill communities and the mountain right behind us. Now, majority of the damage, majority of the mud and debris really centered to those areas. And you can see some of those trucks coming down right now. They've been busy. Crews have been really busy in this area over the last few hours, making sure that everything is nice and clear. And as you can see, the roads are open and things here are carrying on as usual.
It's been a rough 24 hours for the folks living in Forest Falls and the communities in the San Bernardino National Forest. Rain, flooding, debris, and major mudslides. In this case, a 20-foot wall of mud, taking out more than a dozen homes along Valley of the Falls Drive, Prospect Drive, and Torrey Pines Drive. It's all remnants of Tropical Storm Mario making landfall Thursday, bringing rain and thunderstorms to the region, hitting the foothill communities of Apple Country.
The way the canyon goes, it just comes down and it just washes everything out.
The McHenrys are back today to assess the damage in their neighborhood. The wash she's referring to is Oak Glen Road, now covered in several feet of mud.
This happens all the time. This is the only way it can come down.
Crews working to clear the debris. Road closures, a major issue. North of here, Caltrans confirmed nearly a dozen cars were stranded along State Route 38 due to heavy debris flow, especially impacting Valley of the Falls Drive to Lakewood Road.
We had a lot of boulders, trees.
As folks try to maneuver through conditions today, they're bracing for more weather. As of 2 o'clock, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department put out a warning for the communities of Forest Falls, Angeles Oaks, Seven Oaks, and Oak Glen.
They're cleaning up. The county's doing a great job, and they're hustling.
Now, as far as this area goes, we haven't heard of anyone being injured or any major damage to homes. And as far as the evacuation order, the warning rather, went in effect 2 o'clock today. No word yet on when it is expected to expire. In Oak Glen, I'm Alina Abovian, KTLA 5 News.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely wild. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Doesn't look like none of the reports that I have found has said that there has been any deaths because of this. So that is a good thing, but absolutely crazy. The cleanup is one of the most important, especially since they're expected to have even more heavy rainfall, because if they just leave it out there, then just the rainfall mixed in with the debris that's already there, be even more damages. Hopefully, see, my thing is with this is the insurance. So hopefully your insurance covers the majority of this damage. I know, like in Florida with the hurricanes, I know insurance companies are being harder and harder, or costing more and more to insure your homes for these disasters that are common in this area, or in the area that they're in. So hopefully insurance covers the damage. But at the end of the day, we're happy that no one has lost their lives in this terrible situation. And main thing is always heed evacuation orders. Never be the one to say, well, I mean, you can. I mean, it's always up to you. But if the people are telling me to evacuate, I'd rather be safe than sorry and go ahead and evacuate and take my things, because you can replace things. You can never replace your life. You can replace your things, but you can never replace your life. But that's an absolute crazy situation. I don't think I've ever seen a mudslide before on video, just looking at it. And I definitely haven't seen one in person. Absolutely crazy. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know if you've experienced a mudslide before. If you're I know Jessie said that her grandmother lives near the area. But absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts. But absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now we're gonna pivot over into Texas Tech. So I got a few videos. I haven't covered this yet. We all know the same thing. People making stupid comments online, not caring about their job or where they at, because people will hunt you down nowadays. I don't think it's right to be hunting people's jobs down, but all your actions have consequences. No matter what you do, whatever you say has a consequence. It could be good, it could be bad. But let's get over into this and see what this is all about. Seems like she was expelled for celebrating and mocking Charlie Kirk's death. Like I've said before, I don't agree with everything that he said, but I would never mock, and I would never say that you can't say what you believe in. There's no place for violence. But let's get into these two videos and see what it's talking about.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. I appreciate everyone continuing to be with us, bringing you always the top stories and headlines on Live Now from Fox. All right, we want to now go out to Texas for an update where a Texas Tech student has been expelled after a video came to light and really went viral after showcasing a large rant against Charlie Kirk. I want to show you now the very latest from Fox 4 Dallas's Alex Boyer with the latest.
The shooting death of conservative influencer and celebrity activist Charlie Kirk last week ignited tense confrontations like this one on the campus of Texas Tech University Friday. That's 18-year-old Cameron Giselle Booker. In new cell phone videos shared with Fox 4 News, you see the now former student arguing with another student wearing a MAGA hat, holding a sign that says, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk." The encounter took place in what's known as a free speech area on campus. In the videos, Booker appears to mock Charlie Kirk's death.
He started saying, "Haha, your homie dead."
Yeah, homie dead.
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that.
There are several exchanges between the two. A couple of times, the other student asks Booker to leave him alone.
Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you not?
At one point, she flicks the baseball cap of the guy she's arguing with, presumably what led to her arrest for misdemeanor assault, although the police report does not include that detail. After her arrest, Governor Greg Abbott amplified the incident with this message and image on X. I asked the governor about it at an event held in Forney this afternoon.
If we have members of our society, whether they be students or otherwise, who celebrate an assassination, we have dramatic course correction that we have to take in this state.
This isn't an isolated incident. Abbott also posted about another incident at a Charlie Kirk memorial event held at Texas State in San Marcos. The unidentified young man interrupts the gathering with mock gestures to imitate Kirk's shooting death. In a statement, the president of Texas State said, in part, "I have directed university officials to take immediate steps to identify the individual in the video. Behavior that trivializes or promotes violence is reprehensible and violates the values of Texas State."
100%. If you're promoting violence, saying that, oh, you're happy that someone died, no matter how you felt about what they said, it is no place for you, because we're in a country where you have the right to say what you want. Now, I've seen several videos where I've never seen where he was actively promoting violence. I've never seen that. So anyone celebrating that he died, I've seen some people saying that they wish that his family went along with him, or that's absolutely crazy. If you're a good Christian, good human being, good person, I would think that you wouldn't want to actively promote this. Like, you can just keep your mouth shut if you don't agree with if you didn't like him. But celebrating it is absolutely out of the question. Let's keep going into this, and we're going to get into the video where she was mocking him.
And we as a society, we as a state, must send a signal that behavior like that, celebrating an assassination, is wrong in a civil society.
That was Alex Boyer reporting there. And we also want to, again, just show you just some of the more reaction from Governor Greg Abbott saying definitely picked the wrong school to taunt the death of Charlie Kirk. Thanks, Texas Tech. And he also says this is what happened to the person who was mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination at Texas Tech there. So, again, just some of the more reaction from the political leaders showcasing this protest that definitely went sideways really fast, and that student being expelled.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this video where they actually break down exactly the video.
Look at me, everybody. Look at me.
Hey, she just assaulted me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she just hit me in the head. What are you
Fuck your homie dead. The fuck?
arguing? Just rest in peace then.
I'm not
Stop arguing. Rest in peace. The end. Leave it alone. Stop being crazy. Human being got shot in front of his kids. Human being got shot and murdered in front of his wife.
And so did 2,000 kids in Gaza. So did 2,000 kids in Gaza. Yeah. So you can hear me loud and clear. For him, Charlie Kirk hated empathy.
You're a very loud, angry person.
No, I'm not. Yeah. You're stereotyping a black woman.
Explain.
People have. He said he doesn't, because I've done a deep dive into the whole empathy thing. People will bring up that a lot. You got to watch the whole video because people will cut it off. He definitely said that he does not believe in empathy, but he prefers sympathy. So you don't have to have both empathy and sympathy, because if you got to look at the definitions. Please look at the definitions, and please don't just go off of clips that people clip. No matter both sides, you gotta go and investigate the whole context of what anyone is saying on both sides. It doesn't matter if you're if you're conservative, or if you're liberal. Either side needs to go and investigate the whole topic. Don't just take one clip and run with it. But let's keep going into this.
Why rest in peace is bad. Explain why murder was good. Why are you mad about that?
Because you live by the gun, you die by the gun. And that's exactly what
Just
the
like
fuck he got. Live by
by
the
defend,
what
he died
the fuck
by
are you
defend.
bringing up George Floyd?
Live by defend,
That's
die by defend.
exactly why he's fucking dead.
He died
Charlie Kirk said George Floyd was a scumbag that deserved to die.
He was.
So
Nobody
Charlie
deserves
Kirk
to die.
was a scumbag that
Nobody
deserved
deserves to die. Catch your breath.
And America isn't fucking great. America fucking sucks. I just shot this man dead. Pew pew. You see my core power protein shake up a gun?
I'm pretty happy being on this side. She's walking around pointing big guns at me.
You also just said core power protein.
Yeah, you mimicked a gun. You're a psychopath.
I'm a psychopath.
Yes, you are.
And you're a narcissist. Like, you can't.
I said murder bad.
No, that's not all you're saying, though. That's the issue. We all agree that murder's bad.
So I don't understand why no matter what you believe, why are you go to class? Why are you doing all this? Absolutely crazy.
We all agree with that, but you're making slight comments that just show your blatant racism. Like saying that she was
You just said that she was statistically more likely to shoot you. You just said that.
What weapon do I have? That the left side would kill more people than the right side, as if political violence is the guy that shot.
Why are you being so
Why are
hateful?
you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you
please?
not
She's
put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well, I
don't
can-
want this. I said rest in peace.
Okay, and I can do
Just
this
leave it
too.
alone. Please don't come after
Ma'am,
me.
you've been
I want to be
being
left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face, because I could tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. At the end of the day, your actions have consequences. Actions have consequences. She's facing the consequences. She got expelled from school. And I think the other dude who did the same thing over at Texas State got expelled as well. Can't really say much about it. It's just, you need to be aware of your actions. I don't care if you disagree with what he said or anything like that. But what's the point of mocking someone who died? Two of his two daughters are without a father, and his wife is without a husband. No matter what, just something that I don't stand for. But let me know your thoughts. Tell me if you disagree with me. Tell me if you don't think they should have been expelled. But It's the school. It's my opinion. It's the school's discretion of what they want to do. But anything, if you're in a job, anything like that, if you're in a job, a school, you represent them. So if you start putting your thoughts, there's a possibility that there are consequences to putting your thoughts on the internet. But absolutely crazy. But we got to pivot over into. So we just talked about a college, so we got to go over to a middle school now. And it seems that there was a shooting near the Lincoln Middle School. And what it's looking like from my initial stuff is ended up being a murder-suicide of a husband killing his wife. And maybe, I think, the mother as well. It's absolutely crazy, but we got 2 videos to look at for here. So let's get over it. See, I'm doing it at the wrong order. Let's get over into this and break it down and see what happens.
Right now at 4:30, family and neighbors are mourning the loss of a woman who's been described as a dedicated educator and a community leader.
Classes were canceled today at a Berwyn Middle School after police say one of the victims in the deadly shooting was the school's assistant principal. Christian Farr is live for us outside the school with more. Christian.
Marion and Alex, very sad day here. A memorial has started to grow outside of Lincoln Middle School. That's where that shooting happened here in Berwyn yesterday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. Police have told us that one of the victims worked here recently as an administrator, before that as a longtime teacher. And family says the victim's husband was also one of the people who died, along with the victim's mother.
They're my family, and I mean, it's a horrible thing. You know, I have a lot of emotions. I don't quite know what to feel.
Shayna Everett says she is still trying to deal with the loss of her sister, Narissa Lee, who was shot and killed yesterday outside of Lincoln Middle School in Berwyn. Narissa Lee had served as the school's assistant principal when Berwyn police say someone shot Lee and another person while sitting in a car yesterday afternoon. The medical examiner says Stephen Lee, Narissa Lee's husband, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. Shayna Everidge says the third person killed was her mother, Joycelyn Everidge. People who live next door to the Lees in nearby Broadview say they were good neighbors.
Nessa was always a hard worker, so she's always about her business. She would really do good, and making sure I would hear her voices in the meeting calls when she would be working from home. So she was always about her work. She sounded like she really loved her school, really loved her kids. So she was all about what she needed to do. She would come, she would say hello, and then she would just go and walk right into our house and handle Nessa. I know my mother loved me, and I know my mother loved my sister, and I know she wanted the best for her in regards to this situation, but it was also difficult for her because she was trying to give my sister some time to get it together, which apparently that didn't happen.
Now, the sister is alluding to some relationship issues that the couple was having. She's not exactly certain what those issues were, but she says they started back in June, and also there was some sort of issue that happened on Monday evening. Police may have been involved with that. This supports the police narrative that they say that this was some sort of domestic situation and there's no danger to the public. Neighbors and even the sister also described Stephen Lee as a good man. They're still trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Reporting live here in Berwyn, Christian Farr, NBC 5 News.
Thank you, Christian.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely crazy situation. It's a terrible thing that what they're initially saying is that the husband ended up killing both his wife and the mother and then taking his own life. Absolutely wild. I do have some thoughts. What was the relationship issues? It's never an excuse, no matter relationship, is to take someone's life, like we talked about before. But I do want to know. I would like to know what the relationship issues were. Is there some kind of infidelity? Is there some kind of he was just a woman abuser? There's a lot of questions I have. But let's get over into this next video and see if it answers any of the questions that I have or y'all have.
So tomorrow, students will head back to class at Lincoln Middle School in Berwyn after a truly terrifying crime right outside of the building. The school's assistant principal was shot and killed, one of 3 people dead in a tragedy that has shaken that school and truly the entire neighborhood. Police say it was a domestic incident. NBC5's JC Navarrete live in Berwyn tonight talking with students and with parents about the grief they're facing right now. JC?
Hey there, Stefan, and so much emotion was on full display. And today we also learned more about the crime, but the victim himself, we're learning tonight from her sibling that assistant principal was shot and killed by her own husband.
They're my family, and I mean, it's a horrible thing. I have a lot of emotions. I don't quite know what to feel.
A family ripped apart by gunfire, just feet from Lincoln Middle School in Berwyn. Among the dead, assistant principal Narissa Lee. Balloons, flowers, and candles now line the street as students and parents pay their respects. Lee's life cut short Tuesday afternoon, shot inside a car. Her husband, Stephen Lee, dying of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Her sister says the mother was also killed inside that vehicle.
This didn't come out of the blue. It had started ever since, I want to say the tail end of June. And basically the boiling point would have been yesterday.
Wednesday, a clear picture of the violence. Nearby security video captures more than a dozen rounds fired. Police call it a domestic situation. Students now grappling with the loss. One told me she felt safe around Lee. Another, with her mother's permission, said she'll miss her laugh.
I always saw her laughing with the other people, and she would laugh so hard that I didn't understand the joke, but I would also laugh.
Her commitment to students, clear to anyone who knew her.
She was always about her work. She sounded like she really loved her school, really loved her kids. So she was all about what she needed to do.
Again, classes do resume tomorrow right behind me here at Lincoln Middle School. And you can see how much that memorial here has grown over the past couple of hours. Police continue to investigate what may have even led up to this shooting in the first place. And we do now know that counselors will be on hand for anyone that may need them. Stefan?
Yeah, just an emotional moment for so many people involved there. JC Navarrete in Berwyn, we appreciate the update. Thank you so much.
Absolute tragic situation. Absolute tragic situation. It doesn't look like, so I was doing some little search to see if I can find any more information about this. But the main thing it's saying is that, where is it at? It started at the tail end of June is when they started thinking about any domestic violence incidents between the wife and the husband. But yeah, that's Jesse, you did a good question. Why did he target the mother-in-law as well? That's so many questions running through my mind. But at the end of the day, the killer took his own life. So it might just be, we might just only be guessing at, reaching at straws. We won't ever know the full exact picture of what happened. What was he feeling? Why did he do it? Why did he target the mother? Did the wife, the assistant principal, have any ideas that it was getting this bad in their relationship? It's absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. But we got to pray for the family. Got to pray for the family, the sister, anyone else in the family, the children who looked up to her. We got to pray for them, because when you're dealing with someone, just an unexpected death, a killing, people need to be prayed for, and people need to get help when they need it. I'm glad that they're getting counselors for the children, because they said a lot of children loved her. Absolute tragic situation. And it goes to show, you never know when your time can be your last. You never know when someone you working with, care about, it can be their last time. So just spend as much time as you can with the people you care about, the people who mentor you, and just enjoy the time you have with them. Enjoy the time you have with them. Absolutely crazy, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have a guess of what happened, or you've seen any information of what exactly was going on in their relationship. But we probably will never know. But if I do see any more information where they release anything, I will be sure to do an updated video. But y'all remember to hit that like button, subscribe. It's a crazy world we live in, but we got to keep reviewing the world. Now we're going to pivot over into, so it looks like I wasn't expecting to see this. It looks like just the initial parts of the video is that during a traffic stop, they ended up finding 2 girls trapped in a freezing trailer, and the truck driver was arrested. So we got a video of that. So let's get over into that and see what all this is about. But please be careful, because you never know what kind of crazy people are out there. But let's get into it.
Wednesday, Utah Highway Patrol was investigating an accident on the I-15 near Linden. Officials said the semi came up behind slowed traffic and wasn't able to stop before hitting a minivan. Because it was a commercial vehicle, they brought in a truck inspector who noticed something odd.
He took a photo of the rear of the truck, and there was a slight gap in the door, and he happened to see a set of eyes looking at him as he took that photo. And then he knew we had more problems than just the accident.
Lieutenant Clay Morgan says the driver, 28-year-old Jacob Ortel Scott, admitted to having his 2 younger half-sisters in the back. Officials said the 14 and 12-year-old girls were homeschooled but needed to come to Salt Lake to take a test and help a family member who's having twins. The probable cause statement says the girls had been in the refrigerated trailer, which was cooled to 30 degrees since Huntington, Utah. That's about 2 hours from Linden.
Wow.
Officers said because of the way the door was latched, there was no way for the girls to get themselves out of the trailer. Police arrested Scott on suspicion of aggravated child abuse. They're still investigating the incident. In Salt Lake City, Avery Klanowski, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Absolutely, yeah. But there's not too many videos on it, but let's go into an article to help break it down and give us a little bit more information about what is happening. So let's get over into that. So let's see. So Salt Lake City, a Utah driver was arrested on child abuse charges after 2 girls were discovered trapped inside of a refrigerated trailer following a crash on the interstate. I wonder if any of them were hurt in the crash, but that's absolutely crazy. Near Linden. The incident occurred Wednesday when a semi-truck driven by Jacob, 28, collided with a minivan, part of a 5-vehicle crash, according to the Utah Highway Patrol. The 2 girls, ages 12 and 14, were his half-sisters, and they had been in a refrigerated trailer that was at 30 degrees for nearly 2 hours. So while a trooper conducted an inspection, he observed 2 sets of eyes in a refrigerated trailer. At that point, he went back to Scott and asked who was in the trailer. Scott looked surprised, but then told the trooper there were kids in the trailer after speaking to his passenger. Wow. So he was doing something wrong in general. It's just absolutely crazy. The trailer door was latched in a way that it prevented the girls from escaping on their own. They were not being transported against their will, said the Lieutenant Clay Morgan. We initially thought that, especially when we saw that they had several duffel bags, some backpacks, and a makeshift bed was also found in the back of the... What? A makeshift bed? Officials said that the girls were traveling to Salt Lake City for school tests to assist a family member expecting twins. Despite chilling conditions, neither girl was injured. Okay. The 12 and 14-year-old girl was scared, said the Morgan. They were scared that they were in trouble. They were scared that their brother was in trouble. They were scared that someone was hurt, but after a while, they calmed down. He said he was 20. The dude was 28. It doesn't sound like they said it wasn't. Doesn't sound like they were being forced against their will, but we never know. They could have been, could be not telling the truth. But what would make the brother or the half brother, is it half brother? Yeah, half brother think that transporting two girls in the back of a truck at 30 degrees, that's stating at 30 degrees, would be a good idea. He had a bed in their backpack. Something in his thinking is messed up. But let's keep going. Let's see. Last little part. Scott was arrested on suspicion of third-degree felony aggravated child abuse and booked into Utah County Jail. He is being held without bail. Okay. The girls were placed with another family member following the incident. I mean, it's kind of common sense that we shouldn't be riding in the back of any type of trailer. Yes, for some people, yes, it's common sense. But one that's enclosed that you certainly can't get out of. We would just use common sense, try and find a better way to get people where you're going. No, yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's a crazy situation. Luckily, they weren't hurt in the crash that was experienced, but absolutely crazy. I just want to know what was going through his mind. Maybe they couldn't all fit up front. I'm assuming they couldn't. But you had a bed back there? Were they transporting the bed, or was it just back there for them to lay on? There's a lot of questions, a lot of things that just running through my mind. But he's been arrested for third-degree felony aggravated child abuse. I mean, what else can you expect? There are some things that you can't, like, you got to have common sense, people. You got to have common sense. Like, doesn't sound like, well, it's the surprise that's throwing me. They said that when they asked him about who was in the back of the truck, they said that he gave a surprised look, like he wasn't expecting you to ask that question. So was he expecting just to get by without them noticing? But at the end of the day, the little girl said that that's their brother and they were scared that he would get in trouble. It's a lot of things I'm worrying about. It definitely shouldn't have been riding in the back. They should have had another way to get there, but they might have couldn't have no other way to get there. It's a weird situation all about. But let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that there was any crazy situations going on where it was other than what they're saying? But it sounds like the girls, they're all fine. But at the end of the day, he has to go to jail for child abuse, because you can't be having 12 and 14-year-olds in the back of a refrigerated truck for hours just sitting back there. I'm assuming hopefully they had some jackets and stuff on, but that's a crazy situation. For 2 hours? I've definitely rolled in the bed of a covered truck for like 10 minutes. When I was younger, doing some crazy things with my friends, but it's a wild situation in general. Let me know your thoughts, y'all, with that whole situation. It's not much information out there. I've done a deep dive trying to find it, but absolutely crazy. Now, speaking of vehicles, we got to go over to, I believe it's in Detroit. There's a firebombing vehicles. Yes. Incidents of firebombing, or throwing or setting cars on fire outside of a family's home. I don't know what's happening, but I would be scared. I can't imagine just seeing my car set on fire outside of my home. I'm thinking someone's trying to get me. But let's get over into this and see what is happening.
Today for a woman in Detroit. Security video caught someone firebombing a car in her driveway and then running off. And it turns out this isn't the first time a vehicle there has been vandalized.
Let's get live to Fox News' Scott Wolchuk. He's speaking with that homeowner tonight. Scott. Hey, Roop. Hey, Taryn. Yeah, you know what? This vehicle has been through the ringer. Take a look. I mean, you saw the video a little bit earlier, but this is what's left of this Malibu 2012 here. So, obviously, this was kind of a wild scene, 3:30 in the morning. Take a look at that video again of this firebombing. So the homeowner basically says this is her son's car, okay? So for the past couple weeks, they've had 2 incidents where someone has showed up, put sugar in the gas tank. One time it appeared to be a young lady. Another time it appeared to be a young man. In fact, this incident happening with the sugar happened so recently that this guy just got his car fixed yesterday. And then, of course, overnight, now that it's fixed, boom, they're back again and lighting it on fire, caught on camera. Now, they've put in police reports to the 12th precinct. And to be honest, they're pretty frustrated. They're hoping that this can stop because this harassment is escalating. Now, nobody was hurt here, but this is a lot of damage. Take a listen to what the homeowner had to say.
It was engulfed in flames. We was trying to keep it down. We was putting water on it ourselves just so it wouldn't catch fully engulfed in fire. But my nephew was doing water, my son. We was just trying to keep the fire down so it won't catch hold to the house. I just want my DPD and my arson investigators of DFD to come and do their job. I want this young lady picked up, and we gave you video footage. We just need y'all to do your job.
Now, okay, see, I'm not going to stop it too much. When they first said it was a lady doing this, my initial thoughts was that some kind of relationship or something gone bad. But they mentioned a man was doing it as well, so I don't know who he pissed off. Luckily, they haven't taken any shots at him or anything like that, but they obviously pissed off at the son's vehicle, because they're doing it to the son's vehicle. And then they said as soon as he got his car fixed, they came back and torched it. Yeah, somebody is mad at you. Somebody is mad, upset, and they're trying to cause you problems. Let's keep going into this video.
Now, they've got all that information, so DPD is looking into this. The homeowner was also a little frustrated with Detroit Fire, saying that the response time seemed to take a little while. I talked with them. They say this initially came as a police call, and this run ended up taking 11 minutes, 34 seconds. And they point out that their average response time for vehicle fires is generally under 7 minutes on average. So they're taking a look into this and reflecting on why this took a little bit longer for them to get out here. Once again, they are going to be investigating this as a suspicious fire. Obviously, after you see the video, it was obviously intentionally set. We'll let you know once DPD might make an arrest in this case. We'll keep you updated. For now, reporting live over on the west side, Scott Walchek, Fox 2 News.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, it could yeah, you're right. Could be a scorned lady and her new boyfriend. He did something, but we don't want to jump to conclusions. But we can make inferences. Scorned lady and her new boyfriend. But it sounds, just to me, that whole situation sounds like some kind of relationship type thing that happened. Like, you see like the woman will spray paint cheating bastard on the ex-boyfriend's car or something like that. Putting sugar in the gas tank. Things like that. But let's see what else they got to say.
As we heard what the woman said, and connecting the dots here, police know who they're looking for. I mean, it does seem very purposeful, Scott, and she did mention that it may be a female.
Yeah, you know what? Mom is kind of thinking that this could be from a past relationship or something that, maybe something personal. Now, police haven't said, yes, we've identified this person, but Mom's thinking it could be somebody who's upset with her son and an ex or something like that.
Yeah, well, it definitely sounds that way on the outside, but we'll see what police do in terms of this investigation.
I mean, the son should have an idea of who this is. Let's be honest. The son should have an idea about who this is. Absolutely crazy. Because you're going to know who's out to get you. I mean, I would think you would have some idea of who is either pissed off by your actions or something like that. But I will say this again. There's no need for any kind of setting fires or anything like that. So yes, they deserve to be in jail. I don't know what he's done. If he's done something to where he needs to be in jail, then yeah, okay. But that's just jumping around for guesses. We don't know what happened, but the main thing we're going on is that they put sugar in the tank and then they set a car on fire. That is the more dangerous thing, because they could have set the house on fire with it. An explosion could have happened. You could have killed somebody. So they got to go to jail. Whoever these people who set the fire needs to go to jail. And then response time. I know they're a little upset about the response time. Instead of, it took them about 11 to 13 minutes. 11 minutes to get there. And then it's usually supposed to be under 7. It's not that big of a difference, but for when your house might catch on fire, it's a big difference to you. So I can understand why they're upset about that. But they got to do an investigation, and they got to find out who's doing this. Because right now they're going after the son's car, but if he gets another car, because he's going to have to get one, they're going to probably set that one on fire. Or they're escalating, so they might do something even worse. Absolutely crazy, everybody. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know. Because getting your vehicle firebombed. Wow. I'm thinking the son knows who it is. He might not want to tell his mama or his aunt who it is, but that is wild. Absolutely crazy. It's a tragic situation, but they're going to have to catch who did it. But let me know your thoughts, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, that notification bell. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram or anything, it's always acreviewstheworld. You can find me at that, or send me some emails if you see any videos that you want me to review. But let's pivot. We're going to pivot over into, so speaking of a possible scorned lady, we got some dating app robberies. Where young women are setting up some men. And it's not surprising. We know it happens all the time, or might not all the time, but I've heard about it happening. You got to be careful who you meet up with on these dating apps, because dating apps are being more and more prevalent as the online age is going further, but you got to be careful. I know it's hard, but you got to be careful. Have these first meetings, do it out in public. I don't think you should be pulling up to somebody's house first thing, but hey, be careful, y'all. Be careful. But let's get into this. We got 2 videos to watch and see what all this is about.
Well, police say 2 women turned a dating app into a trap.
Yeah, so take a look. These women are accused of luring men to a building in Brooklyn and robbing them instead of making a love connection. This is apparently a pattern, and police say the women had help.
Yeah, Pix 11's Nicole Johnson is live in East Williamsburg with more on what the women allegedly got away with. Nicole.
Well, for starters, Aaron, cash, we're talking cell phones. And in one case, police say the women were able to get a late model luxury vehicle. Police warn these women are tugging at the hearts of men, allegedly using a dating app to lure them into different buildings here at the Cooper Park houses, not for romance, but for a robbery scheme. And the victims never saw it coming.
Don't do dating apps.
But the 2 victims in 2 separate incidents did. Police say the victims, men in their 20s, used a dating app to connect with the women, agreed to meet up at an apartment on the 5th floor to hang out. But once they got off the elevator, the victims were met by 2 men. One of them had a gun. After a violent struggle, the men were able to steal cash, cell phones, and in one case, the victim's Mercedes-Benz. Neighbors we spoke with near Cooper Park houses say they have never seen the women before, but are not surprised about the setup.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, back there, yeah. All the way in the back over there by Morgan and those places, they use that for that.
Somebody is like just trying to like come over here to meet somebody that they probably like, and they're getting set up.
Good news out here. None of the victims were seriously hurt, but definitely shaken. Police need your help finding the women we're talking about, the women you saw in the piece. If you have any information on their whereabouts, call Crime Stoppers. The number's right there. It's 800-577-TIPS. For now, we are live in Brooklyn. Nicole Johnson, Pix 11 News.
Absolutely crazy. Got to be careful. Like I said, you got to be careful. Let's get over into this next video and see if they give us any more information.
Police are looking for at least 2 women accused of luring men on a dating app and robbing them in East Williamsburg. News 12's Daniela Rodriguez tells us the latest from police. Daniela.
Marissa, in our ever-digital world, even dating comes with risks. A police source confirms to me that these 2 women are being sought by the NYPD, and they're using the app tagged.com to lure men to meetups. But behind closed doors are 2 masked men ready to rob them. Police say these 2 women are prime suspects in 2 July robberies tied to the Tag.com dating app.
We're just so lost in the moment that stuff like this could sneak up on us.
Michael says it's hard to know who to trust online, especially at that first meetup.
It's, incredulous to have something like this happen. Because it definitely puts a lot of caution around most people going out, talking to strangers in a sense.
Police say within a week, 2 men were robbed after women lured them to a 5th-floor apartment. Once upstairs, 2 masked men pulled a gun and stole a 27-year-old's Mercedes-Benz the first time. A week later, a 36-year-old man faced a knife and lost his phone.
It's definitely on the app creators to kind of come in and moderate stuff like that. I would imagine that definitely goes against anything that the app is supposed to be designed for.
The Meet Group, which owns Tag.com, says member safety is its top priority. The company urges anyone to report any sort of inappropriate behavior and follow safe dating practices. You can find all those tips on our website, news12.com. In our Brooklyn studio, Daniela Rodriguez, News 12, Brooklyn.
Daniela, thank you.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. You got to be careful, y'all. You have to be careful. You never know when a situation like this will occur. And it could have gone worse. It could have gone worse. Let's get over into it. So here's one of the worst situations. This was back in April. So let's get over into this. Back in April. Did I not pull it up? Where is that? Pull that up. So as you see, what was this? A young father was reportedly set up and robbed and killed by his date and her boyfriend after she pretended to be single. So let's watch a little bit of
senseless killing. Jarrell Pryor stayed out of trouble and worked hard raising his daughter Honey until he was set up, ambushed, and shot to death near 49th and Primrose, just north of the state fairgrounds in late January.
I'm broken inside. I'm torn. I'm tore up.
He lost his life for going on a date.
In fact, just a few hours before Tamika and Travis Wiley's son was killed, police believe Pryor messaged this woman, Alexis Hawkins, asking a 3-word question, "When you free?" This affidavit claims that while Hawkins agreed to go on a date with Pryor, she simultaneously began messaging her boyfriend, Brian Winston Jr., arranging to rob the unsuspecting victim.
It was a senseless act, and they didn't get nothing out of it. And they took everything from us. You can't escape this type of pain. You can't. There's no running from it. There's no getting away.
That's senseless killing.
End of the day, like I said, you have to be careful. Because it could have ended up a lot worse. Just like that young man who lost his life. And she had her boyfriend. They most likely had their boyfriends who were right there behind the door. People come in, you never know. And you go up trying to think you're talking to a single girl, and she got her boyfriend right behind the corner ready to rob you. One thing, don't show off your money. I've said this before, don't be showing off. And just be careful about who you meet. Be careful about who you meet in public. Be careful about who house you're just pulling up to for the first time. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. But we're going to... Any more details about what they get charged, when they get charged and everything like that, I will do an updated video. But I saw that and we had to talk about it. We had to, because people need to be careful. Dating apps are being more prevalent nowadays. and people are finding their matches. Either Instagram is a dating, kind of like a dating app, but people are finding people to talk to on the internet rather than meeting people out in public. But you got a more range of women or men, whoever you prefer talking to talk to. But it comes with risk. It comes with risk because you don't know what they're truly about. They might just be preying on men who they think have some money, or women, be careful too, because the men could just be preying on you as well. Yeah, so be careful. At the end of the day, just be careful. Be careful. Absolutely crazy. Now, we got to pivot over into something tragic, something very tragic that popped up on my algorithm. It looks like in Pennsylvania, 4 infant, this is tragic also, viewer discretion, 4 infant bodies were found in a Pennsylvania woman's home. I don't know what any of this is about yet. I haven't looked at the video, but it's something that we had to talk about because we got to review the world together. So let's get over into this and see what all this is about.
Breaking at 11, new and shocking information on the deaths of multiple babies in Armstrong County. This new information coming after the discovery of 3 dead infants and the arrest of their mother. KDK's Jennifer Barrasso is in Armstrong County with the breaking details.
Sources tell me there are 4 infants, not 3, that have been identified. Autopsies were performed yesterday. Now, state police, they are waiting for more information from the medical examiner's office. They will meet, I'm told, tomorrow with the district attorney. Now, they've charged the mom with 1 count of criminal homicide, and I'm told more charges are coming. KDK learned exclusively brand new information. 4 infants found dead, not 3 as initially reported, inside this house on Oak Avenue in Cadogan, Armstrong County. State police say their mother, 39-year-old Jessica Mothy, is charged with criminal homicide. According to the criminal complaint, the landlord broke open the case after a gruesome discovery. He found a trash bag with a dead baby in a closet.
Very sick, very disgusted, sad for the 2 that are left behind.
Elizabeth Jeremy helped the landlord search for 3 days for several cats left behind after Mothy was recently evicted. To know she was so close to those dead babies repulses her.
It was very cluttered. You could not walk through a room without tramping over things. Lots of laundry, lots of food left behind.
She remembers a funny smell upstairs in a bedroom.
And it smelled very funny. It didn't have a very potent smell when we first went in, but upstairs in the one specific bedroom it did smell.
Police discovered 2 plastic totes along with trash bags with newborn babies. Court records lay out Mothy's own words, admitting to giving birth about a year ago to a baby in the toilet. She heard crying, then wrapped the newborn in a towel until the baby stopped making noises. That body was shoved into this closet. She confessed to wrapping 2 more babies and stuffing them into plastic totes into the attic. KDK learned the mom charged has 2 other children, 6 and 8 years old. She grew up in this home, got married, and moved back into the house. I'm told her dad passed away and she assumed the lease. Her husband, according to court records, is incarcerated. A co-worker had been living with her for a short time. This neighbor didn't want to be identified, said she often watched the boys and fed them.
Giving them structure. They needed structure. They needed love. They needed hugs. If they needed to eat, we fed them. And we did that.
As investigators search for a motive, many wondering about the future of those 2 children.
All I can ask is people to pray for these 2 boys that are living who need the support of friends. And
hold on. So there was 4 bodies found, and she still has 2 children that are living? There's some horrible people in this world, y'all. There are some horrible people. Let's finish up this video.
Family in the community.
State police investigators are going to get search warrants for things like the mother's medical records. They're interviewing friends, co-workers, and her husband, who is behind bars later this week, I'm told. Now, I've talked to someone who worked with her. They say that she was a hard worker. She worked about 50 hours a week, and no one knew she was pregnant. Reporting in Armstrong County, Jennifer Barrasso, KTV News.
Absolutely wild. Like I said, there are some sick individuals in this world. Let's get over into a little bit more detail about it. An Armstrong County woman, Jessica Marthy, see, you know, I'm not good with last names, has been charged with multiple crimes, including criminal homicide after the remains of 4 infants were discovered in her home she had previously rented in a town in Cadogan Township. The discovery was made by the landlord after Marthy was evicted. Initial findings, the landlord was cleaning the property on Oak Avenue in early September when a trash bag with a foul odor was found in a closet. Inside was the body of a deceased infant. Further search after police were called, a continued investigation led to the discovery of 3 more infants, which were found in totes in the home's attic. Confirmation of the 4th infant, while Marthy was initially charged with connection with 3 infants. Investigations confirmed that the 4th remains had been found after autopsies were completed. So her charges, they have announced a new set of charges on September, so 2 days ago. 1 count of criminal homicide, one count of involuntary manslaughter, 4 counts of concealing the death of a child, and 4 counts of abuse of a corpse. So it's only 2 counts. So maybe 2 of the children died from natural causes, and that's why they got manslaughter. Only 1 count of homicide and 1 count of manslaughter. There are some sick people in this world, y'all. Sick people in this world. According to the criminal complaint, she admitted to troopers that she gave birth to several infants at the home over a period of about 6 years. She allegedly hid the bodies after they died and never sought medical attention for them or reported their deaths. Custody and bail. So she is denied bail. I am 100% agreement to that. And is being held in Armstrong County Jail. Ongoing investigations, state police, and other local agencies are continuing the investigate the case. Other children, Marthy reported, has 2 other children, ages 6 and 8, who are now under care of other family members. Absolutely crazy. Let me see if anything pops up with the deeper dive. Let's see. Yep. Nothing really else, but there. There's some people shouldn't be parents. We've talked about this before. And her charges, she doesn't need to be out because there's something is wrong. Something is wrong. She doesn't need to be out here with people. I mean, with regular civilians, but this is a crazy situation. Absolutely crazy situation. Is there anything else? So this is Yahoo. Let's see. Yeah, nothing else. That's pretty much all the information we have with this whole situation. It's a tragic scene. But it's, oh my God, I can't. That's what she looks like. Tell me your thoughts, y'all. Tell me your thoughts. It's, oh my God, there's obviously some kind of mental problems, I would think, but you can't just chalk it up to mental problems. You have to, she needs to be punished for her actions. End of the day, she needs to be punished for her actions. 4 infants lost their life. 2 of them were manslaughter, homicide, and 2 of them, what I'm guessing is natural causes wise, and which is why she isn't being charged for their deaths. But she had 2 other living kids with her. Ages, I think they said 5 and 6. According to the kind of mother stated, she gave birth. Yeah. So she has 2 other children with her, ages. I swear they had it somewhere. Young children were aware of the presidency. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts. How much time do you think she should get? Can she get away with this because she had some mental breakdown? I don't think so. I think she needs to be punished for her actions. But there's something wrong. Something is going wrong. And luckily they was able to get those kids, because the two other kids shouldn't be staying with her. That was just common sense to me, but an absolutely tragic situation. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world out here. You have to be careful. You never know when can happen. The landlord was just coming to check the house after she evicted someone, and next thing you know, you smell a foul odor. And the worst you end up finding dead infants. We gotta pray for her two living kids, because they obviously need some help. They obviously need some kind of therapy or something because I want to know how they feel about it. Did they know? There's absolutely tragic situation. And it goes to show you never know what can be going on in somebody's mind. You never know what can be going on in somebody's mind. Wow. But if any more information comes out about it, I will. You already know I will do an updated video, because we got what we got to do. We got to review the world together, everybody. We got to review the world together. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. Now we're gonna go over into. So let's get over into this next topic. So we got a death at Epic Universe, some kind of amusement park. Why do I keep hitting that button? Get rid of that. We got a death at Epic Universe, some kind of amusement park. So we got 2 videos to watch of that. Let's get over into this and see what we can learn. So let's jump right into it. Let's get it rocking.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and good morning to you. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Jeanne Francine. Right now, we are following some breaking news. A news alert just now coming into our Live Now from Fox studio. Take a look at your screen. We're learning breaking news overnight. A Universal Orlando guest has died after becoming unresponsive at Epic Universe. Fox 35 Orlando's Amanda Ruiz joining us live in Orlando, Florida this morning with more on what we know so far. Amanda, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, a Universal spokesperson is calling this whole incident tragic. This happened at Epic Universe. It's a new theme park here for Universal. It's only been open for about 4 months. Stardust Racers in Epic Universe was closed Wednesday after a guest became unresponsive after riding the roller coaster. Fox 35 was told the guest was taken to the hospital where they later died. Stardust Racers is one of the attractions at Universal's new theme park, Epic Universe. It's a dual launch coaster that sends guests off on a speed of 62 miles per hour, reaching heights of up to 133 feet. According to a Universal spokesperson, they told Fox 35 they are devastated by this event and extend their sincerest sympathies to the guest's family. The park is committed to cooperating with the ongoing investigation. Later, Epic Universe guests saw this extended closure notification on their Universal app for Stardust Racers on Wednesday night. We are waiting for an update on this case and this investigation from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Epic Universe has announced that Stardust Racers will be closed for today. Reporting in Orange County, Amanda Ruiz, Fox 35 News.
Amanda, thank you so much for joining us for this breaking news alert. Tragic news we are learning out of the Sunshine State, and definitely keeping that family in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much for the update. You and your team have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
It's a good. I wonder why he was unresponsive. There's a lot of questions going through my mind. I don't get on roller coasters like that anymore. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I got on a roller coaster. But we got more details about it. Jesus. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this.
And right now at 4, we are learning more about the life of Kevin Rodriguez Zavala. We broke the news this morning on Sunrise with his picture, and now we have new breaking details. West 2 has just received the incident report from this case. Now, of course, he is the man who died after being found unconscious on a roller coaster at Epic Universe. The medical examiner says his cause of death was multiple blunt force injuries, but there's still many questions to answer this afternoon. And Nancy, we just got that report.
We did. I mean, just minutes before we came on the air, I have a printout of it right here. And West 2's Justin Shecker is live in the chopper. And Justin, you have been going through this report that's giving us at least a few more new details in this case.
That's right, Nancy and Stu, good afternoon to you both. I've been reading this incident report from here in Chopper 2, high above Epic Universe. Let's give you a live look right now at Stardust Racers. This attraction remains closed less than 48 hours into this death investigation. And here is this new information at this hour. The responding deputy arrived around 9:20 on Wednesday. When he arrived, he observed Orange County Fire Rescue and Universal Orlando Health Services performing CPR on the man later identified as Kevin Rodriguez Zavala. We also learned from this report that his girlfriend was there with Mr. Rodriguez Zavala on the ride at the time of his tragic death. The report also states that Zavala had a pre-existing spinal injury and he was taking some type of medication that has been blacked out as one of the redactions in this report. The report also states the girlfriend was visibly shaken and stated she was having panic attacks and she was unable to write a statement herself about what happened. Again, these are all new details coming into the West 2 newsroom moments before we went on the air. At the same time, we're also learning more about the man who lost his life, what the medical examiner is calling an accident.
32-year-old Kevin Rodriguez Zavala's family says he was a beloved son, brother, uncle, and friend. His family writes, he was the kind of person who always made time to listen, offer thoughtful advice, and lift others up, even when he was facing challenges of his own. These family photos show Kevin at Epic Universe's Super Nintendo World and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. You can see in the family photos he used a wheelchair. His family writes, despite the restrictions and obstacles he encountered throughout his life, Kevin met them all with grace, strength, and an unwavering spirit. He overcame so much, and he did so with quiet resilience and humility. The Orange Osceola medical examiner says his death after riding the Stardust Racers Wednesday night has been ruled an accident, caused by multiple blunt impact injuries. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says off-duty deputies found him unresponsive after the roller coaster stopped. Dr. Rajiv Ball is an emergency medicine physician in Central Florida.
One of the biggest questions that we don't know at this time is what happened first, the unresponsive nature, or if the blunt trauma caused him to be unresponsive. And that's going to be a little bit harder for the medical examiners to really determine.
By Friday afternoon, Kevin's family had already raised well over $10,000 for their unexpected funeral and memorial expenses. The family writes, his presence lit up every room, and his absence leaves a space no one can fill.
And back here live, we are flying high above Epic Universe. And moments before we came on the air, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released the incident report from this death investigation. We know from this report that Kevin Rodriguez Zavala was taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center, where sadly he was pronounced dead a little after 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Again, we've learned from this report that his girlfriend of approximately 10 years was with him when this tragic incident happened on the Stardust Racers roller coaster. You can see at this hour the roller coaster remains closed less than 48 hours into this investigation. But again, as we've seen from that fundraiser, there's been such an outpouring of support to support this family that is going through this tragedy after this death here at Epic Universe. Covering Orange County Live in Chopper 2, I'm Justin Shecker, WESH 2 News.
Absolutely tragic scene. Absolutely tragic. But yes, he asked some good questions. Was the blunt force trauma before or after he became unconscious? Because this is a tragic situation. We got to pray for the family. His girlfriend, who said that she was visibly shaken up. It's it seems to be accidental. But they're gonna do more investigations on it. But it's, oh my God, you never know what can happen. He was living his life. They said he was as the picture showed, he was paralyzed, but he he was living his life, going on roller coasters, having a good time. And you never think something like this would happen. We got to pray for the family and just see if there's more information comes out about it. We don't know if it'll be released, but absolutely crazy. We got this little article to go into to see if there's anything else in here. So Orange County Sheriff's released more details on Friday in its investigation into the death of the roller coaster at Universal's Epic Universe. The sheriffs identified the man who died as 32 Kevin Rodriguez. The medical examiner said he died from multiple blunt force trauma. So I'm assuming shaking around by the roller coasters. Absolutely tragic. His death was ruled as accidental, but his exact injuries were not released. The incident report showed that an Orange County deputy responded to the medical emergency at the theme park at 9:20 p.m. on Wednesday. The deputies reported they saw people with the Orange County Fire and Rescue performing CPR, later identified as Zahil. Is that it? Yeah. Who was on the platform directly parallel to the ride tracks. A non-emergency call from the OCFR released at the incident report noted that Rodriguez had lacerations and was unresponsive and not breathing. He was taken to the Orlando Regional Medical Center and was pronounced dead at 10:05 p.m. His girlfriend of 10 years was described as visibly shaken up. Of course, that's completely understandable. She's going to need to get some help and therapy to deal with this situation. She said that she was having a panic attack and was unable to write a statement herself, but told law enforcement that Rodriguez, who used a wheelchair, had a spinal injury and was taking medication. She was also taken to the hospital by a deputy to be attended to. The sheriff's office stated that it did not receive a 911 call from the incident, likely because the theme park do not allow patrons to take their phones or other loose items on certain rides. The only available audio is a radio traffic for a self-initiated call by the deputy and the call from OCFR, neither of which provided more details on what took place. So yeah, we just about, you go up to 60 mile. Guest must be 48 inches tall. And there's warning signs. Depending on the rider, warnings listed. Depending on the ride, history of heart condition, abnormal blood pressure, and expecting mothers should not be riding it. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. I wonder if his him being in a wheelchair had any cause or effect that when he was riding that caused it, or there's a lot of questions. They said it had blunt force, so probably not, like I said, knocking around, and it's tragic situation all around. Just got to pray for the family, and I'll see if we get any more information about it, but I doubt it, but absolutely tragic. Tell me your thoughts, y'all. Are y'all big roller coaster people? I haven't been since I was younger. I haven't gone on a roller coaster since I was young, especially one reason, because I'm a bigger man. I don't want to go. I don't want to get on the roller coaster and they tell me I'm too big. That just means I need to work out. But tell me, are you roller coaster people? Do you like getting on roller coasters, or have you ever been fearful in your life on a roller coaster? There's a lot of things going on. Absolute crazy. But like always, tell me your thoughts. Tell me if you disagree with anything I said. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe. That notification bell so you can be up to date on all the videos. Now, the last thing, we're doing a little shorter video today. Last thing we're going to get into. Last thing we're getting into today. So we got Louisiana. We got to go over to Louisiana. It seems like a flesh-eating bacteria has caused 5 deaths. Yes, 5 deaths. Some of them, I don't know all of them, but I know a few of them have been caused from some people eating oysters. I do like oysters. So I immediately wanted to look into it. But let's get over into it. We got 2 videos to look at and see what all this is about. Let's jump right into it. This first video, so this was the original. I think it was about 3 weeks ago. And then we got another video that came out yesterday. So let's get into this. And then we got an article.
Over to Louisiana now, where 2 people have died after eating raw oysters. That, according to the state health department. Both deaths caused by that super dangerous flesh-eating bacteria that we've been telling you about called Vibrio. The state says at least 22 other cases of Vibrio have sent people to the hospital. Across the Gulf, in Florida, another 23 cases, resulting in 5 deaths so far this year. The bacteria thrives in warm coastal waters like the Gulf of Mexico. Most infections happen when you go swimming with an open wound, but it can also get into raw or uncooked seafood. We want to bring in NBC medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel with more. So, Doc, it seems like every year about this time we're hearing about Vibrio. Is it seasonal, and how can we make sure that people avoid catching this potentially deadly infection?
Yeah, Tom, it is indeed seasonal, but I just want to warn you, Vibrio vulnificus, which is what causes these infections, can happen any time of the year. And the reason we see it in general, just here's some tips that kind of help you. The reason we see it between May and October is because those are warm coastal waters, and that's when you can see the kind of proliferation of this bacteria. How do you avoid it? Avoid eating raw or undercooked shellfish. This is raw oysters. I know that's popular, but it can be a source. Wash your hands if you're handling raw seafood. Avoid swimming in what we call brackish or salt water, especially if you have an open wound. Just don't do it. An open wound could be a new ear piercing, a tattoo, or surgery and recovering from surgery. And then immediately get in touch with a health professional, wash out those wounds, because that's how you can start getting that kind of flesh-eating problem, depending on how you get these symptoms and infections. Talk about that.
So talk about the symptoms then. What should people be looking for? What should they be thinking about? And when should they go to the ER?
Yeah, so great questions. And it's also hard to know. Could it be something else? Because usually you're swimming, there can be some other infections. We've talked about other things you can get. So here's some symptoms. Symptoms that you can get usually from food are the kinds of things you would think of: diarrhea, cramps, nausea, vomiting, fever, and chills. This tends to be a little bit more common, Tom. But then because of just this ability to get the infection in a wound, that's when things can get really serious. And unfortunately, you can see everything from fever, redness, pain. I've actually seen limbs that people have had to remove just because this flesh eating, the part that we're worried about, can get really quickly spread and can cause discoloration of skin. And you can also see fluid leaking from an open wound.
Wow. So the symptoms can be serious. Yeah. And of course, obviously the illness or the bacteria itself is very serious. Dr. Kavita Patel, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video. I haven't eaten raw oysters in a little while, but it's crazy to think it's in raw oysters. So I guess I don't need to be eating raw oysters for a little while. I'll just let it. But be careful, y'all. If you're going into, like they say, if you're going into waters, especially down there in the Gulf of Mexico, any kind of open wounds it can get into, just be careful. Be careful, absolutely. Ray, you said that the waters down here in Florida, where I'm at, all beaches are closed now. Wow, absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video.
To Louisiana now, where a flesh-eating bacteria has now killed a 5th person in the state just this year. The bacteria live in coastal waters and can infect people through open wounds or when a person eats raw or undercooked seafood. And with the number of cases and deaths higher than usual, health officials are warning residents to take precautions. Let's bring in CBS News reporter Katie Weiss, who's live for us in New Orleans. Katie, what do we know about this unusual rise in cases so far this year, and how are people really contracting this dangerous bacteria?
Sure, Liz. Good evening. It's really a serious problem here on the Gulf Coast, especially this year more than previous years. So far, the Louisiana Department of Public Health says that there have now been 26 documented cases just this summer here on the Louisiana Gulf Coast, and 5 people have died. as a result of this Vibrio bacteria that is known as a flesh-eating bacteria. You can get it more often in the summer months by going into the water with an open wound or a cut, in especially water that may be contaminated with this bacteria. And it happens more often in the summer months because it's warmer and the water has a better opportunity for the bacteria to grow and thrive. You can also, as you mentioned, you can get it by eating raw or undercooked seafood that might be contaminated by the Vibrio bacteria as well. While the majority of the cases here in Louisiana are a result of people going into contaminated water, still we know that 2 people have actually died as a result of eating contaminated seafood. So definitely something to keep an eye out on. Now, people who are immunocompromised really are the most at risk. So if you're taking certain medications that can make you more immunocompromised, if you're undergoing certain treatments, if you have certain diseases like cancer, diabetes, HIV, things of that nature, those are things that you need to be cognizant of, especially during these warmer summer months all the way through to October. Now, also in southern Alabama, so far there have been 10 documented cases, and in Mississippi, 3 documented cases. One man has even died there. Our affiliate here in New Orleans, WWL, was able to speak with the man's loved ones. Take a listen to what they had to say.
Along with having fun and fellowship, he also gave back a lot to the community. He was a good Christian and devoted a lot of his life to making our community and the coast a better place to live.
Certainly such a tragedy for all of those people who loved and knew that man. And it's so scary for anybody. I mean, here on the Gulf Coast, we love to go out and be in the water and boat. And so it's definitely concerning to hear that cases are much higher than normal. Again, on average, usually only about 13 cases a year. Liz?
And it's not just the Gulf Coast, Katie, but where we're seeing this problem. What other communities have been impacted?
Absolutely. All the way from down south in Miami and the Keys, all up the eastern coast as far north as Massachusetts. Even some oyster beds have been closed as a result of Vibrio this year. So it's certainly an issue. Here's what an infectious disease doctor from LSU had to say about that.
And it's not just a Gulf coastal phenomenon any longer. Global warming is moving infections with Vibrio vulnificus up the East Coast. Cases are being reported in Connecticut, New York, much less in the Chesapeake Bay.
And some signs and symptoms that you might want to watch out for: watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, nausea, vomiting, and also look for redness and swelling, warmth on your skin if you've been in water that you think might have been contaminated. And again, if you're immunocompromised, be extra careful, at least through October, because that's when Vibrio tends to be more prolific. Liz?
Katie Weiss, thank you so much.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Let's see. So looking at this, get over in here, see if there's anything else that we can find out about this whole situation. Like they mentioned, back that up a little bit, a 5th person has died in Louisiana from this. Vibrio vulnificus. See, I'm not good with names. It's a bacteria that occurs in warmer coastal waters. Common between May and October, but you got to remember what they said. They said that it can happen in other places, other times of the year as well, and not just in coastal waters, or not just in the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. About 1 in 5 people, with a Vibrio infection die. Wow, it is not clear how the person contacted the bacteria. The person has not been identified yet. So that's the 5th person. People can contact the bacteria by exposing it to open wounds and contaminated water, uncooked seafood, including oysters. And then 2 of them were who ate contaminated oysters. Let's see. It is not just so like they said, it's not just a Gulf of America, Gulf Coast phenomenon. It also happens on the East Coast. Louisiana has seen an average of 7 infections and 1 death per year. In 2025, officials documented 26 cases of the bacteria. There have also been 10 documented cases of the bacteria in Alabama and 3 in Mississippi. One of the Mississippi cases was fatal. CBS previously recorded of 13 cases of the bacteria in Florida with 8 deaths. Cases of Vibrio have been documented as far north as Massachusetts. Some oyster beds have even been closed because of the bacteria. Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. Absolutely crazy situation. Stay away from oysters. That's all I'm getting. Stay away from oysters. Be careful about what kind of water you step in, because you never know. You absolutely never know. It's a crazy situation. They said it's traveling, and he did mention something. He said global warming is making where infections are traveling farther. Do you believe in global warming? That is the question. Do you believe in global warming? I know some people don't believe that global warming is affecting us as much. Based on, I'm a scientist, so they say that it's been getting warmer and warmer. The evidence proves it. So I believe that something is happening. I believe global warming. I don't know if it's as bad as they say, but I choose to believe that global warming exists. The melting of the ice caps and all that stuff. But let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Ray, I saw Ray. You said that the beaches down there are closed in Florida. Have anybody else been seeing any beaches being closed, or have they even heard about this happening? Because just me seeing this video was the first time that I've heard about this happening. I'm in South Carolina, so I don't really go down to the beach that much because I don't like the heat. But I haven't been seeing much about this anywhere. Okay, you think Jesse? You think man-made climate is always changing? You could be right. You could be right, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. We got to review the world together. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, we got to review the world together. We got to look at all the evidence, look at all the things that people are presenting to us, and we got to make our own opinions about it. And then we got to come through and discuss it with people. We got to have a good discussion. I believe that the best thing we can do is have discussions about these things. And absolutely crazy. But that is the last video I had for everybody to talk for us to talk about today. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things we talked about, like I always say. Okay. Man, AI. Don't think it's man. Okay. I was a little confused for a second, but okay. I understand you, Jesse. I understand. Now, I think that is it for everything today. Like always, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you disagree with anything I've said. It's a crazy world out there, y'all. We've seen a lot of crazy things. We see a lot of crazy things every time we do these videos. Go back and watch them if you didn't watch the whole thing. We got a lot of things, especially that Pennsylvania woman that had 4 infants' bodies in her, found in her house, or in the house that she left, rented out. Dead infants. It's absolutely crazy. There's some crazy things. And then you had the murder-suicide that happened in front of the middle school. There's a lot of questions I still have about what was happening in their relationship, but we might never find that out. But like always, these videos will be broken down, and so you can see each one. And if we have any updates, I will let everybody know. Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. That is the end of today's show, episode 44 of AC Reviews the World. Remember, I am your host, AC the Engineer. And remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So you can be up to date with anything anything I've released. But thank y'all. And I got to play that outro. But everybody have a good rest of y'all weekend. And we'll be back in here Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. One of these days I might decide to change it, but I like to do it at 6 a.m. 6 on Thursdays and Fridays. Tuesdays and Fridays, because I work from the house on those days. So I might one of these days change it, but 6 a.m. is usually Tuesdays and Fridays, and then 8:30 on Saturdays. But that's all, y'all. Peace. Have a good day. you.